The Toyota Australia Megafactory on the outskirts of Melbourne relies on teamwork, on the shop floor and after hours.
Hit the road. Let's do it. Let's go.
These Toyota workmates take their sport very seriously, training hard to get the edge over their rivals in racing events.
Let's see how we go.
The team at Powertrain is also racing to the finish line.
Countermeasures now, we haven't got any. Yep, at the moment, no problem coming up.
Powertrain is expected to start producing its state-of-the-art AR engines in just 6 weeks. It will be making petrol and, for the first time, hybrid engines. But in this brand new plant, urgent teething problems are still being sorted out.
I must be honest, we have got a lot of high-tech equipment in this place at the moment. I wouldn't say that it's perfect, but we're getting on top of a lot of problems that we've experienced through our trials.
We need a module preparation area for everything.
Half a world away, head office is in Nagoya, Japan. This is where Toyota's first hybrid engine was developed. With Australia about to start producing its own hybrid engines, the chief engineer is keen to send a message of support.
Toyota's hybrid contains or includes so many Toyota engineers' passion and effort, technology. If you face some difficulty, please feel this Toyota hybrid passionate and move forward.
Toyota's hybrid synergy drive combines 2 energy systems, a conventional petrol engine and an electric motor. The power control unit automatically monitors driving conditions to decide whether to run on electric, petrol or both. The battery is recharged with kinetic energy from the motion of the wheels whenever the car is coasting or braking. This provides power for the electric motor to accelerate the vehicle.
Thanks to the combination of 2 components, hybrid system has very strong performance for fuel economy and environmental performance. That is very important for the automobile's future.
And mega important for Toyota in Australia. The factory is racing to get its new engine plant up and running.
We've inspected some of the cylinder heads on either side. We'll have to keep a close eye on that.
While the rest of the plant is under pressure to keep up with domestic and international orders.
Currently, our daily production volumes are set at 420 units per day. Of those 420, approximately 30% of those are for domestic consumption, 70% of those then are going to export vehicles.
The selection and choice in Australia is huge. So we're competing not only against other locally made vehicles, but what's coming into this marketplace from overseas. Consequently, you can't let your guard down. You have to produce a quality product that meets all of the customers' requirements.
When bodies arrive in the paint shop from Weld, they're called bodies in white. In fact, they're the opposite. Covered with oil and welding grime. Deadly enemies when it comes to paint.
So the intensive cleaning process is to ensure that we remove this material, which is from the welding sparks in the weld shop. Otherwise, this would cause painting defects in our process.
Stretching 320 metres along the upper wall of the paint shop is a series of cleaning and pre-treatment tanks. The first step is to wash and degrease, followed by a phosphating treatment.
In this process, we've activated millions of crystals on the body surface, and the phosphate controls how those crystals form, the size and also the density. The crystals are there for the paint to bite into, so the paint's got something to hold on to on the body.
Next is the ED coat, or electrode deposition.
With a negative charge applied to the body, the paint is positively charged, and the paint particles are basically attracted to the paint surface. The main priority here is to make sure we coat all the interior panels and all the channels that we wouldn't be able to paint otherwise with a handgun or robot application.
Every joint and crevice is deliberately exposed to the cleaning treatment. Now those same joints and crevices have to be sealed.
To seal, it's important to make sure the car is waterproof, particularly with the hybrid, as the battery is stored in this area here, and we need to make sure that this is completely waterproof. The other uses for sealer is protection on the underbody from stone chips and so forth, but it's also used for sound deadening to make sure we don't get the drumming effect from the noise of the car.
A total of 144 separate areas on the body have to be carefully sealed.
This is the Fahima tip. It's named after one of our team members, employees in the paint shop. She's the actual person that came up with the design for this tip. Right? It's got a guide at the top and a guide at the bottom. What those guides do is actually help us put the tip onto the seam of the car and apply the sealer as a flat finish. The previous tip, we had to brush the sealer into the seams. With this one, we've eliminated the brushing, which saves us quite a few seconds on the application and makes it much easier for us to apply.
Fahima now has an important piece of equipment named after her, and she won a $3,000 Toyota prize for initiative.
We use the opportunity of things like the suggestion scheme to promote individuals' capabilities and competencies. We use it as an opportunity to recognise their performance. They don't see themselves as factory workers. They see themselves as part of a continuous team that's driving towards an end goal.
The stamped, welded, cleaned, primed and sealed body is now ready for some colour. Toyota's product design headquarters is off-site in nearby Port Melbourne. And this is where colour comes alive.
I'm going to try out the red colour, the Toyota Red. It's called the sunrise room. Strangely, it doesn't have a sun, but we can animate the sun on the screen at any time.
This is like the ultimate home theatre. A mega-sized room with a 6-metre, $70,000 high-definition screen.
Before we made a physical model, we will take the designer's sketch and we will do a rendering from that in 2D, and then we'll bring this to life in 3D. As we can see, we can animate that and put that in any scene and to basically virtualise what the customer is going to see. And I think we're nearly there.
Before a car is even built, Toyota knows how it will look in a major city or out on the open road. Colours also have to shine in both day and night conditions.
So most people have no idea what a colour designer does. So if you think about every surface that a customer might see, that surface has been specified by a colour designer. So it has created a concept, developed the colour, gotten it approved, and usually that's a very timely process.
Next time you see an eye-catching Toyota on the road, the colour may have come from an unlikely source.
If we're looking at an exterior colour, and that's the body colour of a vehicle, we look at a whole host of different inspirations. One area I like to look at is nail polish, because nail polish often uses latest technologies in pigments and gives you a really nice metallic. And often I'm known to actually give that to a paint fabricator and say, you know, that speckle in there, can we get that?
Back at the paint shop, the cleaned and sealed primed bodies are ready to be transformed.
I guess at this stage you start seeing the car come together. It's not so dull as previously, so a lot more vibrant in this part of the shop.
This is the only way to enter the paint shop. It's a special airlock, a high-tech weapon in the war against dust.
We're basically making 3 sticky mats which we are passing through hundreds of metres conveyors. The contaminants in the air, the contaminants from our cells, the skin flakes, the hair flakes, is also a huge problem within this shop.
The car bodies are each given 4 coats: ED coat, primer, and then base and clear. Paint cartridges are lined up, ready to be automatically loaded according to each car's specifications.
Each body is basically carried through the process on a dolly, and this dolly's got a barcode, and that matches the actual grade of the car, the colour, and a number of other factors which come into account later in the assembly process. The paint here is atomised, very finely atomised. We've got a barrel that rotates at about 30,000 RPM to cut up the paint, and just before the paint is ejected out of the robot, an electrostatic charge is applied.
This means the paint is instantly attracted to the car body.
And the way the robots are programmed doesn't allow any of the overspray, the atomised paint to actually travel across to the next vehicle.
At each stage, the surface is closely inspected for defects.
We've been able to manage contaminants in the air. We've been able to build a product that you can see that is clean, shiny, and has the standard that we expect.
The gleaming car bodies are on track. But in powertrain, the clock is ticking to the official opening, and it's time to crank up the heat.
It's not so much the job. To me, it's the people that make Toyota what it is today.
When you think about it, it's quite astonishing. You just can't help but being proud.
I'm watching it go out the door. It's going out to some family now. We send their car out to you with the best quality it can be.
Camry and Orion, built by Australians for Australians.